B&E. Most burglars who are looking to take possession stalk a home to ensure there's no one inside before they break in, but not these clowns. Google Nest published this video in June of 2016 writing, "This family were at home sleeping when they heard a noise. John's wife Galuda walked out and saw two men running out of the house with her purse. The couple's surveillance camera video history showed that the men had, in fact, attempted to ensure no one was home. They waited at the door for about 5 minutes, ringing the doorbell more than 20 times before busting in. The event happened in broad daylight. One of the intruders can be seen hurrying around, crowbar in hand, looking for valuables to gather. He grabs the purse and rambles from room to room. As another man enters, donning black gloves as he walks through the home, a third man dressed in black then appears, and they all hurry round in a last-ditch attempt to make off with valuables. As one of the men breaks something while he stumbles around, it falls to the ground, right before the homeowner brazenly walks out, telling the men to get out of here. The female homeowner doesn't seem fazed one bit by the intruders, and the men don't harm her but dodge around her to leave out the front door. Thankfully, this story has a happy ending. According to the video description, the men were identified using the Nest Cam video clip caught by police and put behind bars. Number 9. Abandoned church. Entering an abandoned church around 2:20 in the morning, you probably expect to be the only visitor, but sometimes you're not alone. Posted on the Chills Narrator subreddit by Be More Talks Mitch, this video affords viewers a chilling surprise. Mitch writes, "So I wasn't going to post this just because I don't know if it's ghost related, and I say that because it is possible that someone could have slammed the door, but on second note it was only me and my girlfriend in the graveyard at that time, so you be the judge. Regardless, the holy building appears to be haunted. The pair enter the building, which has clearly been in disuse for a while. There's plaster on the ground and the pews, garbage, broken and boarded up windows. But it isn't until around 2 minutes 40 seconds into the video that the action occurs. It's then that you hear what we all came here for, the door slamming."
This was probably a really nice place at one time. What do you think?
I'm sure it was. It's cute.
Are you serious?
Mitch hesitantly creeps back to the front of the church to investigate the matter. He admits he's so scared that he can barely walk. He gets his girlfriend to come with him to look. When they arrive at the front of the church, the door is surprisingly not shut, and the night air seems very still. It's unlikely wind or a sudden draft could have slammed it. An abandoned church in a cemetery at night. Actually, although you wouldn't expect it, this sounds like a perfect setting for a haunting. Number 8. Zombie chicken. This video first went viral last month. You may have seen the zombie chicken come to life on social media. The post of the 7-second clip identifies meat on a plate as a chicken. Shot at a restaurant, the so-called raw chicken starts writhing around and, with the aid of some wild protuberance, manages to crawl clean off the plate and fall off the edge of the table as a girl screams in fright. The origin of the footage is a mystery, but before it went viral in the US via an English language post shared on social media, the footage had already been around for weeks in other countries, including on a Facebook group in Asia. Although its origin is believed to be China, your guess is as good as mine where it was filmed. Whatever the case, the post claims are also being called into question by some, including by poultry experts. USA Today's senior vice editor, Robert Lindman, calls into question the video's beginning and end, as the shot conveniently pans away from the meat. If the footage was authentic, he says, the camera would zoom in close. What do you think? Real or doctored? Zombie or not? Is this meat even chicken? Number 7. What appears in this live stream? The trees of this forest are haunted. At least that's what the people of this area believe. When in search of said ghosts, they actually caught a couple sightings on video and uploaded them to YouTube. The livestream follows Danya Nyada in July of 2019. as he explores the wilderness in the dark. At about 5 minutes into the video, a ghost is pointed out in one of the trees. Unbeknownst to the man in the helmet below, it appears in the top left corner. Zooming in on the so-called ghost, it's difficult to make out any features. In fact, it looks very similar to the surrounding leaves, although it emerged out of nowhere in the darkness. Around a minute after its appearance, it then disappears from view in the same unnerving way. Around 9 minutes 40 seconds into the video, you can see a much clearer image of what appears to be a spirit in the darkness surrounded by some trees. The spirit lingers there for a moment before ascending out of view into the ethers. Whatever this creepy forest is, these dudes must be brave. I most certainly wouldn't want to wander it at night. Number 6. Road collapse. Canadians in Nova Scotia got the surprise of a lifetime when a road completely disappeared with the tide. Heavy rainfall caused flooding in the area, so much so that a section of Cloverville Road actually collapsed and vanished into the waters of a river below. The whole thing was caught on video by Tarek Haddad, who shared the recorded incident on Twitter. Haddad called the incident absolutely terrifying, recounting to CBS News, "That was really scary. We haven't seen anything like this before." Luckily, he'd seen the collapse from a ways away as he approached the road. If he'd crossed the road even moments later, this could have ended much worse. Social media users called the footage scary and said the old infrastructure was to blame and should be replaced. In fact, Canada's Department of Transportation and Infrastructure Renewal was on it, sending crews to search out areas that had been affected by the flooding and needed to be repaired. Still, this surprising footage shows just what can happen when nature gets angry. Number 5. Alligator at the door. Knock knock, who's there? A 6.5-foot alligator. That's what the owner of this Myrtle Beach home found outside her door. Of course, the gator wasn't telling a knock-knock joke. After all, he couldn't knock. But as it would turn out, he could surprisingly ring the doorbell. The incident was caught on owner Karen Alfano's security camera, although Alfano thought being visited by a gator was pretty surprising. Others in the neighborhood were frightened by the encounter. The gator was captured and removed by wildlife officials, but not before it scratched up Alfano's home and ruined shelving on her walkway. Even more surprising than the unwanted visit is that this isn't the first gator's guest in the area. With all these gators running around, officials seem to be fed up with the high volume of emergency calls. They've requested that community members avoid calling upon their services for alligators under 5 feet. Such gators are young and apparently don't pose harm. I don't know about that. I wouldn't want to run into one of these, no matter the size. Number 4. Mega bugs. Many have had the unfortunate displeasure of dealing with lice in one way or another. The tiny wingless creatures are spread easily by shared items and physical contact. If you're lucky enough, however, you've never seen an infestation of this magnitude. This footage shows a man combing through the hair of a young boy whose head is infested. At first, while the man is combing, you don't really notice the parasitic insects. It simply looks like the man is brushing the kid's hair. But once he's done a thorough combing of the boy's scalp, he holds the brush up to the lens. Only then you can see the insects moving on the comb's prongs, and not just a few of them, thousands of them. If you don't want to feel like you're itching all over, don't watch this video. And someone please get that kid some of that special shampoo to deal with those bugs. Number 3. Near miss. A drive down Interstate 4 nearly turned very bad for one lucky driver who barely avoided a light pole falling on them. The footage was caught by Rob Viehwager en route to exiting the interstate near Maitland Arts Center. At a distance, he notices the pole teetering, so he brakes slightly. That's when the light pole was sent falling to the ground. Viehwager barely avoided the pole, which could have taken his life. He made his way around the obstacle, which the Florida Department of Transportation says likely became unstable when a concrete truck reversed into it. This just goes to show that surprises can jump out at you when you least expect them. You can never be too careful. Number 2. Demonic possession. While I'm skeptical that the previous possession was a spiritual one, this video posted on YouTube in January of 2015 by Jonathan Savo looks absolutely legit. Jonathan writes, On January 22nd, 2015, I came to visit my girlfriend in a hospital in Paris. A woman was lying in her own bed next to her and started roaring and talking with a devil voice. The woman was captured roaring in the hospital bed next to the YouTuber, addressing the pair in their tackiness and ugly face, and telling them they're all going to pass away. The possessed woman claims to have a friend in the mafia who she says she's going to call. At the end of the clip, the woman asserts she's going to take out her drip to leave. Jonathan writes that when he stopped filming, the possessed woman tried to get up and apparently wanted to take the life of the person sitting alongside her. The woman was stopped by 5 nurses who restrained her, while pushing the rest of the patients to leave the room. Unfortunately, Jonathan had no clue what happened after that, although he says he heard the woman's voice still roaring that she wanted to take their lives. As Jonathan clearly got out alive, the possessed woman must not have succeeded. Before we get to number 1, my name is Chills and I hope you're enjoying my narration. Are you curious about what I look like in real life? Then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT to find out. Do you like my narrations? If you answered yes, then tap the follow button and thank you for your support. It's a proven fact that generosity makes you a happier person. So if you're generous enough to hit that subscribe button and the bell beside it, then thank you. This way, you'll be notified of the new video we upload every Tuesday. Number 1. Too close for comfort. Lightning storms are fascinating, but are they worth your life? In northern Greece, an approaching storm drew this eager onlooker out onto his balcony, where he stood filming the dark cloudy sky. At first, everything seems for a moment calm, that is, until a bolt of lightning takes this opportune moment to show the world what it's made of, reaching the ground with a deafening bang against a nearby rooftop. You can almost feel the electrifying ferocity of nature as the storm rains down its raging light. The person filming is either forcibly jolted back by the energy or jumps from fright, as the camera falls away from the show before returning to the point of action. Was this nature? Or is Zeus angry for some reason? We can only guess, but the video is a lesson learned. The next time you're curious about a lightning storm, remind yourself that curiosity took the life of the cat, and it nearly took the life of this man as well. Thanks for checking out this video. Be sure to subscribe because we upload new countdowns every Tuesday and Saturday. Or if you're still not convinced, here are some of our other videos that I think you'd like. Enjoy!